Yes, it's true that we all end up doing impulse purchases and regret it later, and that's exactly why you need to learn to be aware while shopping, because that's the only way you'll ever be able to spend and shop effectively without overspending. So in today's video I will show you how to spend and shop effectively without overspending. But before that, make sure to subscribe to us for more videos and tap the bell icon to get notified with every new video from us. Let's dive into the video. Number 10. Avoid social media brands. The biggest culprit in overspending and unnecessary spending is social media. We see things displayed attractively and aesthetically, and we are naturally tempted to buy it. Without much thought, we end up ordering things. The best way to avoid ads and brands on social media is to not search about those things or like or engage with such posts. Instagram will eventually show you less ads because they will find out from the statistics that you aren't interested. Just make sure you don't make an impulse decision while scrolling through online businesses, because usually what we order online isn't what we expect, including clothing, skincare, cosmetics and other stuff. So yes, it might be on sale or it might have great reviews, but that doesn't mean you need it. Number 9. Shop from cash. This is a really cool hack to stop overspending. Just carry cash with you when you go out to shop. Usually when we are out in the stores, we have a goal or a list. Things that you want versus things that you need. Always choose things that you need and carry enough cash to purchase that only. If you take your card to shopping, just know that you will end up adding a thing or two to your basket, and that is where overspending comes in. You don't need it, but you still got it, and one thing would lead to another, and before you know it, you would have spent quite some extra cash on things you didn't need. Number 8. Don't fall for marketing traps. Brands are there to sell you their product, and your job is to be smarter than them. You don't have to fall for their marketing traps. You don't have to give in to their new campaign. Year-end sales, season-end sales, promotions, all of these are simple marketing techniques that brands use to trap their customers into buying their product. It is important that you realize how you won't need these things and how life would be just as fine without them. So always choose wisely when you're shopping, and even though it's beneficial to shop from sales, always remember that when you come out, you will have spent more than you normally would have without the sale. Number 7. Not tracking your expenses. If you don't track where your money went, you will never realize that you've been overspending in the first place. If you really want effective results, and if you really wish to cut down added expenses, then always make an account of how much you've spent on what. This will make you more aware. And after you've gotten something that you won't be using or that isn't a really good purchase, you will always know that you wasted this money and that you could have used it for something better. These mistakes will teach you not to spend on useless things again, and that realization will come only after you keep an account of how much money you have and how much you're spending on various things. You can use apps that track your accounts and add the details of your expenditure in it as a diary. Number 6. Don't shop because you're having a bad day. The last thing you want to become is Rachel Green. Don't spend because you're feeling low. Make a good meal. Go for a jog. Drink your favorite drink or watch a good movie, but don't go shopping. Every time you spend just because of a bad day, you're spending unnecessarily on things you would not need, because if you needed it, you would have gotten it earlier. You're just spending on clothes and accessories that won't even make you feel better, because eventually they will remind you that you bought them on a day that was terrible. So if you really think you're smart, just don't do this, because it's the worst possible way of spending your money, and there are many other effective ways of feeling better than just going shopping. Number 5. Be aware. Have you ever given in to a purchase because a salesperson won't stop talking about it? Or because you just casually added it to your cart while at the grocery store? These are things we do when we aren't quite aware of our actions and their consequences. Walking down the candy aisle and adding extra packs of candy just because you might need it to munch later, or adding some random thing just because it came in your way and you thought it might be necessary. All of these things are actions that tell you how you aren't quite aware of your purchases. Always create a strict list and stick to it. If that thing was important, you would have added it to the list, so don't make the mistake of adding things that are useless to your basket, because all of these random purchases will cost you a lot at the end of the month. Number 4. Create a budget. Budgeting has always worked for people who wish to stop overspending. Just create an elaborate account of the amount you earn, then deduct all the rent and bills cost. Then create a budget for groceries and other subscriptions that you might have to pay for every month. Then eventually see the amount you're left with. From this amount, make a goal of saving and keep the rest for spending. When you will have a limited amount for spending on shopping and getting things, you will be more aware of what to get and what not to. You don't necessarily have to shop from that amount. You can save it for something better as well. The ground rule is that budgeting is going to help you spend the amount that your salary allows. Anything more than that is going to result in you overspending on things you might not really need. Number 3. Don't spend it on eating out. Restaurants aren't the most ideal place to spend all your money. Sure, once in a while you can have a nice dinner with friends, but making a habit of eating out is only going to drain your accounts, and while you might think it was money well spent, well, in reality that's not really true. The hygiene of most restaurants is nothing compared to home-cooked food, and the amount they charge for one meal is enough that you can cook an entire day's meal from that amount at home. So always choose wisely when it comes to eating habits. Even if you have no idea how to cook, it's not that hard to learn from YouTube because everything there is mentioned step by step. Number 2. The famous delay rule. Alright, we get it. You really want that product, it looks pretty, is a limited edition, fine. But just imagine it's worth to you a month from now. Or if you can actually wait a month and see if you still really want that thing. Usually a month's time is enough to get out of the hypnosis of the product, but even after all that time you really think you want it, then you should get it. This method is a pretty famous one suggested by Justin Bieber himself. So waiting for a month to make a purchase that might cost extra and a purchase that you might have doubts about will benefit you because most likely, you won't want it and you will end up saving that money. Number 1. Challenge yourself into a goal. Challenges are a cognitive ability which makes us want to do things that we won't do otherwise. So challenge yourself into saving a particular amount which is higher than you usually end up saving. When at the end of the month you will have an amount close to that saved, the victory of it will feel ecstatic and you wouldn't want anything other than to feel it again. You will keep saving and eventually your habit of overspending will flow out of your system. Let us know in the comments below about something you ended up purchasing that you still regret. Hope you got some value. If so, make sure to subscribe to us for more videos and tap the bell icon to get notified with every new video from us. See you in the next video.